Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a quick tip, my friends. We're going to have a little bit of face hug thoughts right here, generally meaning two tanks smashing up against each other, usually the front of each tank, and attempting to on in this particular example from my side and from their side. So we'll watch this develop. I've got a Conway that's on pretty good hit points, but a Conway doesn't have great armor. I happen to have pretty good armor. So really the Conway's options here to face hug me aren't great. Really what he should be trying to do is go around me and use that nice Hesh round into that big old juicy side or rear end of this tank. So that's the first thing. Know when to when to face hug and when to not face hug. Now I'm going to try to counter him from doing that, but as it turns out, he's perfectly happy just to drive up in my face and start shooting. Then it gets more interesting. You can see that we're really starting to win here, and just a few potatoes ago they had another 3 tanks and they all died pretty quickly. Plus we've got them trapped in the pit and we have the high ground, and then I have come off the hill actually over here very carefully and moved around to start putting pressure on them from behind, but the Conway tries to sort that out. Now just watch what happens. He comes in, I'll get a shot on him, and I'm happy to let him face hug me right here. No problemo. I'm actually winning the shoving match, and I have more ability to push him, more horsepower, and he's going to start backing up. But then I think better of that because I don't want to come around the corner and let the Malshin or potentially the Standard B get side shots on me. So let's see how this develops. So he's perfectly happy to let this happen. He's trying to shoot me right here. Now I see the Standard B. I'm like, oops, that's no bueno. Here comes the Standard B, and really I'm expecting the Standard B just to come around the corner and start taking me out. Of course, we have a lot of tanks left, and I don't know if he's worried about someone back behind there. I know there's nobody there, but maybe he does not. So right now, I'm perfectly happy to have the face hook, because what's going on? My lower plate is being protected by Mr. Conway, so we're going to let this go. I sort of back up initially because I'm thinking, oh, the Standard B is going to try to circle, but he doesn't. Conway gets a chunk of me with his HE, but it's only 174. He'd be really doing a lot better to shoot AP, and I think really he's trying to shoot right down into my upper deck and get that big shot in there. So I kind of look at it and go, all right, well, what's going to happen here? And look, this is perfectly fine with me. I'm being protected by him as he tries to face hug. Neither one of these goofballs is attempting to change any kind of the angles. Standard B come raging around the side, make me turn to him or ignore him and get schwacked by his shots, or I turn and try to fight him and I get schwacked by the Conway. There's no good options right there except this, and he allows me just to kind of hang out doing this. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Does a little wiggle, looks like maybe he's trying to get his gun to block, and I'm just, honestly, I'm flabbergasted, and I end up surviving this. The Standard B just doesn't have the ability to get in there for whatever reason. We're going to go ahead and get reloaded. We kill him. Then I was thinking, well, maybe he was trying to reload 2 shells and he's going to whack, so to speak, right into the side. So we'll come around here. He does get me tracked, so it looks like he didn't have 2 shells. I've got to wait till the track gets fixed. Now I'm going to turn both my hull and my gun. This is a great example of what that looks like, right? So if we look how fast I can bring my gun on when both my hull and my turret turn at the same time, instead of just sitting there and trying to turn my turret. Look at those HE shots from the, perhaps Hesh, I'm not sure, off the Conway, and we sneak around and we kill that guy off right there. And I come out of that silly thing having lost a couple hundred hit points from the Conway. I fought 2 of them. Really should have been gunned down pretty quickly had either one of them done it right at that point. And again, I don't know if what the Standard B knew as far as where the tanks were. I think probably he had a pretty good idea most of them were up there. Let's put it this way. I don't know what he thought the information should have been there on his mini-map. Let's say that. And I'm able to come out of that thing alive, and a bunch more hit points of damage, a couple more kills on the Conway and the Standard B, and we end up cleaning this thing up. I don't get another shot on the Malshin right there. So there you go. Some face hug thoughts, guys, both from the offense and the defense. Sometimes face hugging is actually really powerful even when you're losing, especially against multiple enemies when they're not interested in trying to do something smart like get around you. I have used it in the past using the purple teammate's guy that's face hugging me against his other teammates and blocking any shots. And also, if you are the purple guys, think about being the Conway. Maybe he needs to back out, disengage, and give his buddies some shots at my lower plate. I would have probably kept pushing forward, but if he'd have turned out at an angle, then in order for me to keep my lower plate up against him, now I'm turning my side to the other guy. So there's a lot of things going on there. The worst possible answer on that one was for the Standard B to stay right behind the Conway and the Conway to just sit there right in front of my lower plate. So there you go. Face hugging thoughts. That's all I've got for today's quick tip. Have a good one. We will see you.